You know, there's a whole lot of craziness around eating disorder support recovery, a real craziness in your mind about justification to feel that you are poorly enough to need to get well. So what do I mean by that? So, I mean, I can't tell you the number of people that get in touch to say, I now don't feel that my weight is low enough, or my body is suppressed enough, or my energy deficit is so low that I deserve to seek recovery. There's something about the need to feel sick enough to desire and start to go out for embracing recovery. And I thought I'd touch on that today because it's been such a common theme of people getting in touch, and it really stalls progress with eating disorder recovery. So something I mentioned on a post a few weeks ago was how, yeah, it really is difficult to get started with your eating disorder recovery. So just to kind of make that first decision to say, right, I'm going to go to the supermarket, ladle myself up with the foods that scare me and start to get well. But as I said in that post, often it isn't that bit that's the really difficult bit, because at that point, you know, perhaps you are in a really low body weight and you are sort of starting from scratch. It tends to be when the demons kick in, when your body is starting to change, and perhaps you are restoring some of the weight, and perhaps people are starting to believe that maybe even that they think you're well now because you've put on a few pounds and your body doesn't look as just so terribly unwell as it might once have done. So all those areas can really make us feel like, oh, well, perhaps I haven't really got a problem anymore. So maybe I don't have an eating disorder anymore because I look more normalized in my body frame. Well, that's an area where you have to work on your eating disorder recovery every single day. I get that that is the real hard point, and trust me, I've been through it. It's the point where people start, they kind of just, you know, it's not through anyone lacking goodwill or desire to help you. But people just stop asking about how you're doing quite so much because they think that you're making some progress. But don't forget that after you start to make physical progress with your weight, the mental rewiring that needs to happen around your eating disorder recovery goes on for so much longer. And that's where you really have to just hang on in there, fight with every fibre of your being. It does not matter. That's where the eating disorder will do its evil work to say to you, well, you're not sick enough. You're not sick enough to consider yourself to have an eating disorder. Well, trust me, if you're still thinking about eating, if you're still thinking about whether you should or shouldn't eat, or whether you're justifying what level of food you can consume on the basis of what movement you've done, trust me, you are still in weight suppression. You are still in a restrictive eating disorder. When you are really well, you are not having those conversations even in your own mind. You are not thinking that way. When you are really well, there is no suppression, no restriction, no even contemplation about whether you should return to that kitchen for the extra piece of toast. So I get that it's really hard once you have started to restore a little bit of weight, but it can take years for you to fully recover from a manifested eating disorder. So hang on in there. And for those that are sitting around you on the periphery and are supporters in your care journey, please know this is the difficult point, and you need to support that loved one. All right, I hope that helps. Take care.